No, it's still
Oh,
spinning.
there we are. We are.
Hey, we're live. Look at that.
We're live.
We're live. We were able to figure it out. Of course, the second we go live, I start coughing.
Yeah, you were doing fine when we were talking.
I know, right? Good evening, everyone. Alan Gambo is going to do it all. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. Uh, well, we're missing our two partners, which is fitting because tonight is number twos. We're doing a deuce. This is the deuce show, number two. So it's fitting that there's two of us here. Hey, Tony,
Hey,
nice
Tony.
to see you. So it's the deuce. Let's rename this, Rich, the deuce show.
The deuce show.
Springsteen would be proud of us. Dressed up like a douche. Let me run this by, Rich. I need you to jump in, man.
Okay.
Strikes Back. The Matrix 2 Reloaded and Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, or right? Return. I want to say Return of the King. The Two Towers, number two. Two, folks. Look at this. You got us two tonight. Rich, take it away. I see you looking like you're doing something, so take it away.
Well, I just hit a button and to put a demo scene over us, and now my screen looks different. So, and I don't know how to fix it because I'm dumb. So, anyway, we'll just go. Hi, Tina. Tina's here.
Tina, you get two of us tonight instead of four.
The deuce, right?
Kind of sounds weird. So I feel like I'm like on a podcast or something right now. You know, other than our podcast. You know, we're talking. I'm here talking with Senator Rich Restucci.
Senator Dick, right?
And he's telling us about the new law with the what do they call those? The holes they drill in the bathroom stalls. He's here to tell us about the new legislation.
We're not going to say what it's called. But there's a lot of glory there. So it says Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales in the upper right-hand corner now, and I can't seem to make that go away.
I'm going to be dodging it all night.
Yeah, boom, I know, right? Boom, boom. I don't know how to make that go away. There's a thing that says new scene, speaker view, group discussion. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to leave that up there for now because I don't know how to fix it. But my head's really big. Look how big my head is. Wow, I got.
Because you're 9 feet tall. Well, you're 9 feet. What do you expect? You're 9 feet tall, man. You know, you're bigger in real life.
So, do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to do Empire, and I'll do Lord of the Rings, and then we'll split the Matrix.
Yeah, let's do that because I didn't get a chance to watch Lord of the Rings this time. I've seen it. I have seen it on theater, and I've seen the part with all the version with all the parts put back into it. Right. You know, or whatever. They added special version or version first.
Excuse me.
I'm just tongue-tied tonight. The director's cut. Thank you. Gosh, I'm just.
It's 4 hours long.
Oh yeah.
It's like insane. Yeah. So I watched it yesterday and today, and it's a really good movie. It's
you want to do it? You want to start? You want to start since you're already.
I'm not a huge fan of Peter Jackson as a person, but honestly, the guy makes some pretty damn good movies. All the Hobbit movies were great, and all the Lord of the Rings movies were great. And that zombie movie that he had, I can't remember the name of it. It was great.
Oh, yeah. Dead Alive? Is it Dead Alive?
Dead Alive, yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This film is the second in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and it sort of takes off with Frodo and Sam are by themselves, and Aragorn and Gimli and Legolas are chasing down the Uruk-hai that have Merry and Pippin. So you got three different things going on. Plus Gandalf's got his own little thing happening. He fell with the Balrog. We all know that. I don't think there's anybody out there that hasn't seen seen this movie. So I'm not going to really go into the plot too much. Big battle at the end.
Well, it'd take you an hour.
Yeah, right.
It would take you an hour, Rich.
Two, because I keep coughing. But this film the cinematography in this film alone is enough to just put you over the edge. It's huge, giant swaths of New Zealand, all kinds of rocks and big meadows. And then they do the set stuff where they're in Helm's Deep, which is Helm's Deep is sort of this bastion that the people of Rohan go to when they're in trouble. And you got this big army coming from Saruman, and they're going to kill everybody. They're not interested in prisoners. They're just going to kill everybody. So they go to Helm's Deep to hide out and shoot arrows at the bad guys. And just looking at the Helm's Deep, like, the faraway picture of it, it was amazing. It looked so real, and they did it so well. There's not really a lot of creature stuff in this. Gollum is one of the creatures, and then you got the orcs and the Uruk-hai. But they're done really well. There's not a lot of color there. They're just the orcs and the Uruk-hai are just like this, like dark black, slimy looking, vicious and mean with like these great freaking werewolf teeth, and they use that bull sound when they're roaring. It was just phenomenal. Everything about this movie is excellent. There are haters out there, but you know what? Screw you. I like this movie. This is a great movie. And it crushed it at the box office. I didn't have time to look up what the box office was, but I know it. I saw it at the movie. I saw it at the movies twice. I wanted to go, so I went, opening night, because we had a theater that was almost closing down for renovations, and there was nobody there. So I went. I don't sleep, so I went to like a midnight showing. And it was really good. And so then the next day I took my dad and my kids and my wife, and we all went and saw it. And even my wife wasn't crazy about the Lord of the Rings films, but she liked that one the best. She loved the Hobbit movies, but she was kind of on the fence about the Lord of the Rings. Crushed it at the box office. I don't know, did it actually win any Academy Awards? I'm not really sure. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I'm not going to look it up now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it did either.
If you're a fan of the Tolkien-esque stuff, I mean, this is Tolkien at his greatest, and it's really well done. It's well directed. It's incredibly well acted with Viggo Mortensen and Hugo Weaving's in it just a little, but you've got John Rhys Davies, you got Orlando Bloom, fantastic, great cast. He meets Arwen, who is the king's niece, the king of Rohan's niece. Aragorn meets her, and there's a sort of a one-way love interest that goes from her to him, but he's just thinks he's lost his true love, who is Arwen, right? Arwen, is that her name?
Yeah. Arwen,
who's an elf. But that you find out in the next movie that didn't happen, and she's hanging out, and love is in the air. This film is. I watched the director's cut, which it's either just under or just over 4 hours, and there's a ton of extra crap. But even without it, even the not director's cut, the one that made the movie, that's 3 hours long. So if you're going to binge watch those 3 films, you're in for a solid day of or half a day. 4 times 3 is 12. A solid 12 hours of watching flicks. You're going to get a headache at the end of it if you're drinking your Mountain Dew or your beer or whatever. I'm trying to think of bad things to say about it, and I can't. Actually, the Ents. I totally missed the Ents. There's these tree creatures that are called Ents, E-N-T, and the creature effects on them are phenomenal too. I mean, they storm out of this Fangorn forest, this big woods, and they attack one of the bad guys, Sauron. And it was in his little what's left of his army, because he sent his big army to Helm's Deep to kill everybody. I love this movie. I absolutely fantastically love this movie. This is like top 50 for me. I would lump the 3 of them together, the Lord of the Rings trilogy together. And also, if you haven't seen these movies and the Hobbit movies, the Peter Jackson Hobbit movies, shame on you. You need to go watch them. They're absolutely fantastic. There's a cartoon that was made, I don't know, 78 maybe, and it's that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's that sort of human anime where they block out a person moving around.
Rotoscope.
What's it called?
Rotoscope. Yeah.
What's this guy? I don't know.
Rotoscope. It's called Rotoscope. Yeah, it's like what he did with Wizards and
Yeah,
American
yeah,
Pop and those other movies that he made.
yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is amazing to watch this movie at the
Yeah,
theater. Yeah,
I think I can
it.
wait. I can
You
show
know,
it.
some of those series after all three came out. Then do you remember when they ran all three together? You could go to a movie theater and watch all three,
Yeah, that was still
and they
9
did that for a
hours at
while.
that time. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I remember when they did that with the Planet of the Apes when I was a teenager. They show all the Planet of the Apes movies at one theater, and it's like the promotion was like "Go Ape," and so you were there for what? I don't know, 10 hours or whatever, something like
Right.
that, watching it. I never got to do it. I always wanted to do that, but I never got to. I don't think my folks would let me.
Bring
This
your
this
adult
one,
diaper.
huh?
I said, bring your adult diaper.
Yeah,
Get
right.
in here.
That's
You gotta
it.
watch the movie.
That's, that's it. You were saying Tolkien stuff, and my sister had got me the Tolkien books for Christmas one year, and I could never get into his
Yeah.
writings, but I enjoyed Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
Because at that time back in the South, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, and that kind of world really pulled me in. And I hated that they never finished. He never, because it wasn't a box office hit. It was a
No,
kind
nobody.
of more of a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more of a cult classic, and so when they made this, I was intrigued. I really wanted to go see it, and man, I'm glad they waited because they were trying to make these into movies. So, somewhere down the road, they were going to use dwarfs or little people or whatever. And they waited for Jackson, and I mean, not they didn't wait for Jackson, but Jackson brought this world to life. I mean, like you said, Rich, the cinematography in this just amazing. You know, you
Again,
don't.
it must have
It
won
doesn't
best
look.
photography.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Ray Harryhausen movie. Where you
Yeah.
you got the
Yeah.
little stop motion. And you can tell it's fake. This is great. Um, my only complaint with them is it's a little long. They're a little long. You know, that's my only complaint. But this sure did bring a lot of New Zealand actors that were not well known into the limelight. Miranda Otto, the dude from The Boys, uh,
Yeah.
can't think of his name. He was in Doom. Um, gosh,
Urban.
uh,
God,
I
Keith.
wish we had
Kyle. Keith.
Max here. Carl Urban,
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
and David Winham. Uh,
Yeah.
Actors like that. It really brought them out. Hugo Weaving, even. A bunch of these New Zealand actors that are good actors. Now they're in a lot of other things solely on this movie. It brought them up, I guess. The orcs were done awesome. I thought, and the Urukai, it was awesome. I enjoyed that part. Watching it, I can't imagine how, as a teenager, I would react to seeing this movie. I probably would have had a perpetual boner watching it,
Yeah.
Like,
It's
oh
Star
my
Wars.
gosh.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a great flick. It's probably, I don't know, it's in my top 100 movies, probably, but it's just getting the time to watch it. That's the only problem with it,
Yeah, because
you know.
it's so damn long, and
That's what she
I
said.
have a DVD copy someplace. I don't even have a DVD player anymore. I don't even know, it doesn't even work. Um, but I have it digitally, and the digital one, it updates through the internet. It's via Plex, so it updates through the internet, and they just updated it to the long version. I didn't purchase the long; I purchased the short version, but they updated it by themselves to the long version. And I looked at it, yesterday when I turned it on, and I'm like, I haven't seen this scene before. What the hell is this? So I paused it to see how long it was, and I was like, holy crap, it's 4 hours long. So it was all was well. I love this film. Highly recommend it. Anything more to say on it?
I recommend it. I recommend the director's cut. especially if you have time. I used to have the 3 director cuts. My kids bought them for me for Christmas
Yeah.
or something or birthday, and I like how a lot of the relationships are expanded in it.
Yeah.
Especially like Carl Urban's character and John Noble's, the king. I forgot his name, the one that had been turning. Not no, the one that was going to burn. Uh, was
Oh,
he going to burn Carl
that's
Urban
in the
or
next.
was he?
That's in the next movie. This
Yeah,
one was Sauron had his mind, and it was
yeah.
Theoden. Theoden.
That was gosh, that was Bernard Hill
I
that
believe you.
Saruman
I
had his
don't
mind.
know. I don't know
Another
either.
another
New Zealand
another New Zealand actor that's just
makes sense.
great. Yeah, great. You have
Where's
to use
Peter
him
Jackson?
in Game of
Peter
Thrones.
Jackson from here, right? From the U.S.
Huh?
Isn't Peter Jackson from the States?
No, Peter Jackson's New Zealander.
Is he? That's
Yeah,
why I was thinking. That's why I asked the question. I was like, I thought he was
no,
from the States because he won't shut up about his politics. So,
yeah, no,
huh,
no. He's a New Zealander, which he should probably not talk about things other than New Zealand and maybe Australia, but and maybe even over in Great Britain. I don't know, but yeah, he is from New Zealand. In fact, have you ever seen that movie he did? It's a horrible movie, but I suggest any cinephile watch it. It's called Bad Taste.
I don't know.
It's it's an alien movie and it's really gross.
Like
Um,
disgusting, gross.
yeah, like disgusting gross.
Huh.
Like, his zombie movie was pretty gross.
Yeah,
This one's a little bit grosser, but it's one of his first movies was that one. Bad Taste. It's a
1987.
cult flick. It's a cult flick.
1987.
A buddy of mine, Chris Patterson, said, "Hey, we got to watch this." And I remember we rented it and watched it. It's like, what the heck are we watching? And who is this guy? And then lo and behold, years down the road, this guy comes out with this awesome trilogy, and a good version of King Kong, So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about King Kong. You're right.
And the Frighteners. I think he did the Frighteners.
Did it? That was Peter Jackson. No, I think you're right.
And the Frighteners was good.
Yeah, it's a great flick.
Yeah, it's a good flick.
That's top 100 for me too. I really loved that movie. My wife liked it too. She loved The Frighteners. That
Yeah,
was
that's Peter
Arlie
Jackson.
Army is in that movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun flick. In fact, I got to watch it again. I haven't seen it in a while. So, what would you rate this one then, Rich? I know you put it in your top 100s.
It's getting a 5, bro. This one's getting a 5 for sure. I can't detract anything from it because everything about it was perfect. Plus, it fits right. You can't watch the other 2 movies without this one because this one just
That's true.
carries on.
That's true. Hey,
Hey,
Doc,
Doc,
you just missed
how
us
you
talking
doing?
about Peter Jackson.
Yeah, we're just talking about a guy from next to down under. Yeah,
I'm gonna. I would give this one a 5, but the length sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give it a 4.5, a
That's
solid
fine.
4.5.
Yeah,
And it's a movie I think everybody should watch. It's a trilogy everybody should watch. Let me put it that way.
absolutely. Yeah,
Because you can't just watch one,
this is the
unless
number
you hate
2.
it.
So you have to. Yeah, Ma's not here. Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta watch this
Ma
one
and
if you watch
Scott.
the other 2. And honestly, this one's really good. So
Yeah.
I got a 9.5 or a 9.5 out of 10. So that was pretty good. Which brings us to.
Hey Tony. We were
Tony?
talking about the 2 Towers, Lord of the Rings. But now we're going in. Do you want to do excuse me, The Matrix Reloaded?
You can do whatever you like, my friend.
Okay, you want to start again? You're
I
on a
can start
roll.
again
I'm gonna
now.
call you Butter.
Huh? So this is also number 2 in the series of the first 3 Matrix movies. There's actually a 4th Matrix movie. A lot of people don't know that. Resurrection maybe. I can't remember what it was called, but it just
Yeah,
came
I
out.
think it's Resurrection.
Yeah, it was okay. It got a lot of hate, but I thought it was pretty good. This movie also got a lot of hate. This was Reloaded, right? Matrix Reloaded, the second one.
Yep.
And it was pretty good. It kind of takes off right where the last one left off, maybe a little bit further on, because if you watch the first one, there were a few key deaths, and so people need to take the place of those deaths to run the Nebuchadnezzar, which is the ship that Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, so he doesn't pilot it, but he's part of the crew. He's supposed to be the one, and they can move in. He can move in and out of the Matrix, and he's got superpowers in the Matrix. It's actually, it was well done. This is the Wachowski brothers, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Our
Yeah,
sisters
so
now. The Wachowski
yeah,
sisters
the
now.
Wachowski sisters. That's right. Well, they weren't when they made this, right?
No.
Yeah. So
No,
they
but if you see on Plex the little explanation of the movie, it says
it says this
they're
guy,
both names start with an L now. Lila and Leanna
Lana.
Wachowski's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Uh,
not that it's,
no
you know,
worries.
it's
You
just
do you.
interesting.
Hey, Clark, you do you.
Hey, Clark.
You want to do that? That's all good. But anyway,
Yep.
there's a lot of action in this flick. There's a lot of Agent Smith, played by Viggo Mortensen, played by oh my God, help me,
Hugo Weaving.
yeah, who was also in Lord of the Rings. He's sort of this this agent that you think gets killed in the first movie, and now he can excuse me, he can replicate himself using this weird code that they have. I'm assuming you've all seen The Matrix, and if you haven't, again, shame on you. Damn it! Sorry, excuse me, everyone. Yeah, she's picking on us. The blondes are looking rough tonight. Alan's not wearing
We've
any
been
pants,
smoking. We've been smoking a lot.
right?
It's catching up with us.
So yeah, Hugo Weaving's in this. He's an excellent actor. He's the evil Agent Smith. His number one goal is to kill Neo, or to replicate himself into Neo so that he can be super powerful. And it moves along that track with there's some new characters, these ghosts I thought that was really cool. The blonde ghost. There's the Merovingian.
Yeah.
We've got him now. He's supposed to be like this vampire-esque type of program, sentient program. Yeah. And Monica Bellucci's in this, and anything with Monica Bellucci is okay by me. I'm a big Monica Bellucci fan.
She's got giant hands, man.
That's okay. I'm not looking at her hands. It's all right. I also think she's a decent actress, but she plays the Merovingian's squeeze in this. I wouldn't really call her a girlfriend. They were once, they're sentient computer programs. They were once in love, and that has since slipped away because the Merovingian's a greedy prick. So what they're trying to do is get this key to get into a big it's an apartment or a business building, an office building, and inside that office building there's a door that only one key will open, and they get this key master to give them the key. And it's basically, the movie is one long giant fight. Yeah. And it's Neo is trying to save his girlfriend, who's played by Carrie-Anne Moss, who he sees in the future getting shot by an agent. She gets killed by this agent. And so that actually comes to fruition, and she does get killed by this agent, but we have Super Neo, and he just he puts his hands on her, and when he gives her the shock, and she comes back to life. So it was another, to me, really well done movie. I will not rate it as high as the second Lord of the Rings, but it's still, it was done really well. This has great cinematography too. A lot of it is post-apocalyptic. There's two sides of it. There's the Matrix, which is just what we live in right now. We live in the Matrix. And then there's, the post-apocalyptic world that is the real world. Robots have taken over the world, or AI has taken over the world, blah, blah. Again, you should know this because, of course, you watched The Matrix, because if you didn't, you're just a dumbass. The Matrix is a great flick. And this, whoa, dude, are you okay?
I was just dodging. Bullet time.
Yeah, bullet time, bro. Oh, right, yeah, Keanu Reeves. Okay, I get it. So yeah, this is a great flick. I touched on about half of it. I don't think it did nearly as well in the box office as the first one. And generally, movies like this tend to go down, except for Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. They actually go up. Excuse me, in in money. But recommend it. It's not earth shattering like you have to see it like Lord of the Rings, but I highly recommend that you watch this movie and make your own distinctions on it, whether you like it or not. There's a lot to see here. It's definitely one of the best ideas to come out of the film industry in half a century. Um, they pulled it off pretty well. It was directed well. It was acted well. And again, the cinematography here is great too, but it's a completely different style, of course, than Lord of the Rings. What did you think, big man?
This one has I like the Matrix series. This is uh bone of contention in our household because my wife thinks they're boring.
Yeah.
I I think they're okay. I'm not as enamored as you are with it,
Mhm.
but I like it. When I saw it at the theater, I thought, ah, it's pretty cool. I watched it again, it was like, no, okay. But there's been so many movies that have came afterward,
Yeah.
that just, I call this one uh, cyberpunk John Wick, you know,
Yeah.
but not as fast, not even as fast movies John Wick movies move. In fact, there's an actor in here, Daniel Bernhardt, who plays one of the agents, one of the main agents that's
Mhm.
fighting Neo all the time. That was one of the bad guys in the first John Wick movie, the one that was babysitting the three, young uh, Eastern Bloc bad guys. And then
Huh.
near the end, he makes it to the end and he gets suffocated with the bag in that fight. So it's kind of funny that he fought him in the Matrix, then he fought him in John Wick and lost both times. But this got a great cast. You got Harold Perrineau, who played Link. One of the
Yeah.
pilots of the Nebuchadnezzar, and that dude's in everything. I love Harold Perrineau. You had what's her name from uh, Firefly? Uh,
Oh,
Gina Torres.
Rosario Dawson, right? No,
Yeah,
not Rosario Dawson. Gina Torres.
Gina Torres, and you had Harry Lennox from the Blacklist, the FBI chief in the Blacklist. You had a bunch of little supporting actors that were just great people and genre actors and stuff that helped make this movie. And it's good to see Anthony Zerbe as the High Councilman guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember him from Omega Man and
Yeah. He was very,
Battlestar
very white.
Galactica, and
Yeah.
yeah, he was every bad guy in the 1970s, early 80s. So that part was really cool. The special effects are great in this. I love the freeway chase. I love that. It's a long, extended, you know,
Agreed.
car crash, scene. And I thought it was great. And there's a lot, it was really technical too. There's a lot that went into that. I remember seeing a making of it years ago when it was about to come out, and I was really impressed with it. Um, like you said, this one kind of dips down from the second one. It's got some good ideas. It's got some great, like the vampire and the, when she's able to kill him with a silver bullet, boom. Um, I just, it, watching it again, it just wasn't as thrilling as the
Mhm.
first time I saw it. And, seeing this movie at home as opposed to seeing it at a movie theater is a lot different. This is a movie that's made to be seen in a theater on a big screen. Can you imagine these if they put this out nowadays and they put it in one of those theaters where you get the mist, the smell, the moving, everything, those where everything reacts? That would be
Boy,
awesome. That really
yeah.
would be. I thought this would have been great in 3D. This would have been awesome if they filmed it in 3D, and not just the crappy 3D, the real 3D, the real good stuff.
Right.
And this is a special effect geek's wet dream, especially back when it came out. The effects are so much better nowadays too,
Yeah.
along with the money. That's where the budget of most this went, with the money. And Keanu Reeves, he's always fun to watch in these movies. I know people that would, go watch him paint a wall, which is like some of his acting. But anyway, I'd go watch. Keanu Reeves movie that comes out. Anything Keanu Reeves is in that's not made in Europe is usually decent. If you see any of his European movies, they all suck.
What was
They're
that?
horrible.
Just did a
I
movie a
think he,
couple of years ago with he was he was in this big house and these two girls come and they're all freezing cold and
oh
he met
yeah.
them. That was pretty terrible. I don't
Oh,
know what that was about, but that was pretty bad.
well, he had this one in Spain where he killed this girl, and it had that Anna, she's in Ballerina, the John Wick movie that's coming out soon. Anna D. Car, whatever. Um, and he's helping her out, but actually he killed her and she's a ghost. And it's like,
Oh, it's a
it was
bad
horrible.
person.
Huh? Yeah, it's a
Is it
horrible. Oh, sorry if I give twist away if you're gonna watch it. Sorry, folks. It's an awful, it's an awful movie. Yes, you should feel jealous of me and Keanu. I've had a crush on him since Bill and Ted.
Well, he's pretty, and he's supposed to be the nicest guy in the world, right?
Right?
He probably would jump on
Right?
here and do this with us if we invited him. He's kind of that cool.
Yeah. I recommend this movie. I do. I'm not going to rate it as high either.
Oh, that was
I
weird.
do recommend it. It's a fun watch. Uh, despite what Tina says, it's a fun watch. It's
Yeah,
just
we
not
didn't
one
even
I would
touch on
probably
Lawrence
watch in a
Fishburne.
while.
Lawrence
Huh?
Fishburne is in this movie as well. He plays Morpheus,
Oh
and
yeah.
we never even touched on him. And
Oh
he
yeah.
does a good job, but and he's in, of course, John Wick too. Uh,
Yeah.
I feel I heard someplace that Lawrence Fishburne, while he's a great actor, he wasn't great on the set. I guess he forgets a lot of lines and stuff. But I don't know if that was later on in his career or if it was for this. But I've heard he was in one of the CSIs or something like that, and it was so difficult that they got rid of
Well, he's been I was just thinking about this. He's been an actor since he what, 15? Since
him. Yeah,
Apocalypse Now.
yeah,
He's like 15 or 16 on that set. I think he turned 18 on it by the time it was done. So that's got to kind of skew you a little bit, being that young and living that lifestyle, and even getting older in it.
yeah.
So he
I agree.
he could be hard to work with. I don't know, but I think I've heard things too.
Yeah, I don't
That,
I don't think he was a bad person. I think he just couldn't function on set like everybody else could, and he needed a lot of help. And I could be wrong on this. This is just I could be misremembering it. That's what I'm remembering. I don't think he was a dick. I think he needs like line, and he couldn't remember his lines, and
right.
that's got to suck for the other actors, honestly, because it's just
Maybe
and
he
the
didn't
production.
care. Maybe he's like, I'm doing a TV show. I don't,
Yeah, maybe
I'm not doing the Matrix.
exactly.
you
I
know?
thought he was great in this, and he and Keanu Reeves, their fighting is interesting in this. They do
Yeah.
some weird shit because they're in the Matrix and they can do all their jumping, bunny hopping all around. And, I thought the fighting was pretty cool, especially with Hugo Weaving. He did great too. And then with
Yeah.
with the Million Smiths, there's like 150 of these replicated Smiths attacking
Yeah.
um, Keanu Reeves, and it was good.
Hugo Weaving, you're talking about, he was great in this. It
Yeah,
really,
he is.
I think this is really, I was talking about the Two Towers, but I think this is the one that really got him noticed, was the Matrix,
The original
you
Matrix.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
But
was
you don't see him a lot anymore, really anything big,
so. The last thing I saw him in was Heartbreak Ridge. It was the one with Andrew Garfield, and they went to Japan.
Oh yeah, he played his dad.
Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah, and he was
Hacksaw
great.
Ridge,
He,
yeah.
he played really.
Oh
He
yeah.
played great. Yeah. Uh,
He's a good
that's a
actor.
good flick too. That's a really good flick. And Hugo Weaving's good in everything. He really is.
Yeah.
I can't figure out if I like him better as a good guy or a bad guy.
Yeah, right. Right. Some
Yeah.
of those can do well. Like Carl Urban. Carl Urban plays a good bad guy, but he plays a good guy,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
Yeah. The Boys.
And
That's his best role
yeah,
on The Boys is Billy Butcher. He's freaking fantastic.
yeah, yeah. It's this one though. Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, he was good in this, but it's really everybody together. I mean, I know Keanu's the main actor in it, but he's Keanu. He plays about the same. Even Carrie Ann Moss, she was good in this. In fact, Tina told me that she just passed away a few days ago from cancer.
Carrie Ann Moss did? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I didn't hear about it either, but she told me that she passed away
Oh
from cancer.
man,
So
look that up. Yeah. So what would you give this?
I give this one, I'll give it a solid 3. Just and a solid 3 with a recommendation of you should watch it.
Huh. I think I'll give it a 4. But it's like a soft 4 because there are some things that I would have changed, and it wasn't nearly as good as the first movie. Like the Lord of the Rings, The Two
Yeah.
Towers, every bit as good as the first Lord of the Rings movie. This one, it fell off a little. My suspension of disbelief was a little harder to suspend the disbelief. Excuse me, but overall, I
Yeah.
like it, and it's a
I
movie
like
that I will likely watch again.
the freeway chase to me is the best part of this movie, but I like
So
car
that's what you
chases.
wait for. That's you
Huh?
watch this movie for that. That's what you're
Yeah,
waiting for. Absolutely
yeah,
watching it for that.
yeah. And I looked it up. It's not Carrie Ann Moss. So strike that, folks. Um, but strike it. I gotta,
She's my
we gotta
age.
look it up later.
Somebody died. Wasn't Carrie Ann Moss.
Somebody,
Thank you, Carrie Ann Moss, for not
somebody,
dying.
somebody from the Matrix, huh?
I said thanks to Carrie Ann Moss for not dying. I like her too. I think she's a good
Yes.
actress. She was just in that
Yeah.
in that something Star Wars. I watched it. I can't. Was it the
Oh,
Acolyte?
yeah,
Was it
yep,
because
yeah.
two
She was
Star
she was
Wars
a
things
Jedi
just came out. I guess
in
they
that last one
canceled
they
the
came out with.
Acolyte.
Yeah,
Everybody was saying that I should
it's,
watch it, so I gave it a watch. I didn't think it was as terrible as everybody said, The Acolyte, but it wasn't great. It certainly wasn't good.
yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it.
They're like a lot of the series are like meh.
Yeah,
I like Andor. It's a little gritty.
yeah, that's coming back
You know,
soon, like
yeah,
April or
good.
June or something, right?
Yeah, I like the Andor. The characters actually have sex in it. I mean, not
Yeah.
that they're showing it or anything, but they
Excuse me.
they allude to it, and it's like they're actual, human beings, not just these, cardboard. Oh yeah, they're
Yeah,
they're actually
Uh,
more 3-dimensional.
I like The Mandalorian. I thought that was really well done. I thought the Book of
I
Boba
like,
Fett could have been better, but it was good. I mean, he's riding a Rancor at the end. You got to give it props for that.
oh
What
yeah,
else did they have?
yeah,
Kenobi.
Richard. I like
I thought that was good.
which
A lot of
one?
people Kenobi.
Oh, I didn't
It was
see that one.
about it's okay. It's on. I got rid of Disney, so I can't see that stuff anymore. But I thought Kenobi was okay. But actually, I did watch The Acolyte. My one of the kids that lives with me, he's got Disney Plus, and he let me watch The Acolyte. So I thought
Yeah,
they were all okay. And speaking of Star Wars, dun dun
well,
dun.
we're gonna roll into and The Empire Strikes Back. This one was 1980. Holy crap! I was
Yeah.
still in high school when it came out,
Yeah.
and I was thrilled to see this. I was in love with the first one. I stood in line, not knowing what I was going to see with the first movie, and this one just wow. But this one is also a downer. It's the middle movie of these 3 movies, and this is the Deuce. It should be the Deuce show. It's just you and I, but the Deuce show because we're doing number twos as we speak. Um, so this one fights the rebel base on Hoth under attack by the Empire, and you have Luke and Leia and Han Solo on this ice base getting ready to escape the clutches of the Empire. That the Empire are under, they just want order in the galaxy. That's
Yeah,
all they want.
very
And these
misunderstood.
rebels, huh?
Very misunderstood.
They're misunderstood. They just want order. I mean, they want you to be able to go to the store, buy things and follow their rules. That's all. That's all they want to do. Why can't these rebels live like that? Except these rebels want to be wild animals living on ice planets and in the jungle. I don't get it. But this one's cool because it has a lot of big effects in it. It's got the trench warfare aspect at the beginning on Hoth, which was really cool, especially back in 1980 when you're a teenager and you don't see these things in sci-fi movies with the level of special effects they had. And you have Luke attacked by by uh, a Bigfoot, a Yeti. I
The
forgot what
Wampa.
they call it. It looks
He's a
like the
Wampa.
yeah, a
Yeah.
Wampa. It looks like the evil twin of the snow beast from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's what it kind of
Kinda.
looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wampa.
that was cool. And Treat Williams actually it plays a rebel on Hoth. You don't really see him. I kept looking for him, but they claim he was there, and there's pictures of him with what's her name with the Leia, and he stopped by the set, so he was actually one of the rebels, and they never.
I didn't know
I
that.
kept looking. Yeah, I kept looking for him, but never did see him. But there's a lot of action in this. You get Billy D. Williams showing up as Lando Calrissian,
Yeah.
offering everybody a Colt 45 of happiness. Um, you get betrayal. You get Luke, I'm your father.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is the worst actor in this three-picture series, and he
Agreed.
never grew. He never grew as an actor in this series, at least. Han Solo did. Harrison Ford, you see, by this time he carries the movie. Actually, in this one, I believe he does,
Yeah.
because you see his full-blown acting skills in this. Which the cocky hero that he played. I mean, he's he's made three iconic, you know, heroes: Jack Ryan, Indiana Jones, and Han Solo. I mean, how many actors have done that? Made a franchise based on their acting. You know, Carrie Fisher, she's good. She's good in this. She's even more fun as a princess. There's a lot more humor in this one than in the first one. And you get the famous line, "I love you." I know. That's just gold right there.
It is.
Um,
A lot of those in this.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of
Oh,
one line.
and Rich, now this is a fact right now. The actor that did the voice of the Emperor, he passed today. Clive Revel. I just saw it on
Oh, I didn't know
in
that.
Memorial. Yeah, 94 years old.
Wow.
Clive
Good for
Revel,
you,
the actor
Clive.
that did the voice of the Emperor. So this one,
Damn.
this is where Luke finds out Darth Vader's his father, and that he's kissed his sister's kissed him, and that he's been, probably playing sock puppet dreams over his sister.
Yeah.
Um,
Twin sister.
I think I think when Lucas wrote this, he wasn't thinking that far out. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
throwing things together, and then all of a sudden, hey, let's make them sister and brother, and Darth
Oh
Vader
shit!
dad.
But
But
they
yeah,
made
but we
out.
got a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. It's cringy film history right here. Um, but this one is a like I said, it's a downer at the ending. Han Solo's in carbonite. You get Boba Fett shows up, squirts, and they drop him in Han Solo in carbonite, and he takes him off in Slave One to the big old frog guy. What's his name? Jabba the Hutt. So, and Luke has no hand, but now he's got a robot hand because his
Just like
dad
Daddy.
chopped it off.
Yeah.
I like when Luke's hanging there and he tells him his dad, and rather than this is worst father ever. Luke decides to die instead of accept him as his father. I mean, how bad would that make you feel as a
Yeah.
dad? Your kid runs
Well,
out in front of a train because they don't want to, You know, they don't want to
They don't
accept
want
it.
to hang out. They don't want to rule the galaxy. Damn,
Yeah,
I really thought we could
I
rule
guess
the galaxy, but you fell in
I
a
could see
hole.
why he was pissed off. I'm kind of going over to Vader's side in the Empire on this. But this is a great movie. It really is. I think it's my favorite out of the three. Well, the first one is a sentimental favorite because I mean, when you're, 15 years old and these giant spaceships flying over your head and the big letters on the screen, Star Wars, you're just like, whoa, because we didn't have stuff like that. And this one carries on with the special effects. Um, I love these, even the remastered ones with the special effects added in, the more people and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I didn't hate that because it made it to me, it expanded out the Star Wars world. It gave you when they were, on Tatooine, they were there were more people at the spaceport and just more creatures and stuff. And I thought that opened up the world more. That's pretty cool. I didn't hate it. You know, the whole handshake first stuff. Well, that's stupid. Or you know, because Han did shoot first, and he should have shot first. You know, he should have. But anyway, Rich, I'm turning over to you because I'm just babbling now.
Well, that's all right, man. So I also love this one. The way that these three films are ranked by like 90% of the Star Wars fans are 2, 1, 3. Everybody loves Empire the best, then they love the original Star Wars, and then Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi? Return of the Jedi. I'm a 1, 3, 2 guy. I think this is by no means a bad movie at all in any way, but I think of the three of the movies, because of the downer at the end and the lack of action that the other two have. Not that this is not an action movie because it is. I rank this third of the three. And again, I don't dislike this movie. This is a movie that I'm so much better off as a person for seeing. And I think a lot of people believe that. Not about me, but about themselves. This film is it takes things to another level, but I don't like where they went. The level's not a bad level, but not where they're going. I mean, the Hoth stuff was cool. That was all right. The Dagobah stuff, the Swamp Planet stuff was good. Yoda was a puppet back then. But I really love the first movie, and because I saw this in the movie theater too, and as luck would have it, it was playing in the same theater at the same time as Indiana Jones, which as a kid hadn't even heard of. I was only 12 when we went to see this, and my dad took
Holy
the
crap.
family to go see it. My brother was a huge Star Wars fan. My brother was 5.5 years younger than me, so he was only, do the math, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so we all loved it. It was great, but I kind of left the movie theater going, huh? What? Because I didn't know that it was going to be a trilogy at the time, but there was no place else for it to go. So I was like, there has to be another movie. How long do I have to wait for that now? And as a kid, you get a little disappointed for that because I didn't know that there was going to be 3 movies going into the second movie. So, but that did take a little bit away from it for me. But it's a Star Wars movie, so like you said, Alan, you got the ships flying over, you got the big letters at the beginning, which was a Star Wars icon. Darth Vader plays a much bigger part in this than he did in the second one. We finally meet the Emperor ish. You see him on the screen there, and when they redid these, they took the old Emperor out and they put in the guy that plays Palpatine. I can't remember his name. They put his face on there and his voice too, because it used to be that's not who was there. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
whoever played him, before. It was done really well. I love this movie. I'm not going to rate this poorly. I don't want anybody to think it, but it's just of the three of them, it wasn't my favorite. The Hoth stuff was good. The Dagobah stuff was good, but I like the space stuff more. And you were trying to fight through the triangle Leia, Luke, and Han being this love triangle thing, and it was, and then you're like, in the third movie, you're like, wait, what? That's a
Yeah.
little weird. I mean, as a kid, you don't really get it too much, but as an adult, you're like, ooh, like
Yeah.
you said, it's cringeworthy. So it was good. Yeah, Clark, I'm all right. My lungs got messed up with COVID, and every time I get any kind of sickness now, I had the flu in February. It carries on. It just carries on. I'm just gonna have this for the rest of my life, but I'll be all right. So, what are you gonna rate this movie, my friend?
Well, hey, Landa.
Hey,
Um, I wanted to, you said the Dagobah. I hate the Dagobah part. I
yeah,
fast forward that. I love
really?
that meme where it says, where like Yoda died because he got tired of Luke asking him questions, just like your
Yeah,
kids do. I love that. I hate how Yoda talks. I hate everything about Yoda. Now the baby Yoda on Mandalorian is a different story.
yeah.
But
Everybody loves
I
him.
just Yoda was just like the dude, what's his name? Jar Jar Binks to me.
Yeah,
Jar Jar Binks is just another incarnation of Yoda. Just annoying. I watched this and I'm like, haha, I can fast forward this part. And I did. And I did. And I did. And I did. And it made Empire that much more fun. Because Rich, I like the part where he crashes. That's kind of cool. And
the
then
rest of it
okay,
was
then we're out. We're out, man. I'm doing this like I'm watching a VCR, but I was actually with the remote, you know. But yeah, it was a downer, and like you said, Star Wars is my sentimental favorite. The first one is my sentimental favorite, but one I could watch again and again. Fast forwarding the Dagobah part is Empire because I love the Hoth part. I really do. Reminds me of a World War II movie, which they carried off on Rogue One very well. You know, but this one, yeah, it was. You're watching it, and you're like, I got to see a third one. you know, and I got to wait 20 years to see it. You know how slow they were back then. Why it came out like 3 years later or something like that. I forgot. But yeah, no, Star Wars definitely, and that has impacted so many people's lives. I mean, look how it's still carrying on, and you still have series made off of it, and it's quite the beast. But
and then
um, I do agree with you on Star Wars being number one, but I like this one better than Return of the Jedi. I really do.
most people do. That's just a me
Yeah.
thing. And insofar as one of the things I never really understood about this was that you get the sense of time that Luke is in Dagobah training with Yoda. It seems to be like a long time, but it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been more than
No.
like a couple of weeks, just
Yeah.
because of what was going on in the galaxy and the war and Darth Vader looking for him and all that stuff. So I don't understand how Luke got to be this big, giant, super powerful Jedi with 5 minutes of training. When you get guys like Mace Windu, who was also a super powerful Jedi, a Jedi Master, Jedi Knight, all that crap, uh, and he trained from the time he was born. So it was,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just was Luke that powerful with the Force? Because he sure didn't seem to be. It seemed to me like Vader kicked his ass on most occasions, and the only reason he lost at the end to Luke was because he was like, this is my kid. I kind of like him a little. Maybe I love him. I think I'm just gonna not fight to my potential. In Empire, he beat the crap out of him, and in Return of the Jedi, Luke's like, you know what? This is my lightsaber. Doomed to you. I don't know. I thought that Darth Vader just would have kicked his ass. In the Kenobi show, you said you haven't seen it, right? That
Right.
Kenobi show. So there's one scene where this ship is trying to take off, and Vader just goes like that, and he uses the Force to grab it and stop it. And I was like, "Holy crap!" Mark Hamill ain't doing that. He's not that powerful, At least not in the first three Star Wars movies. He gets
Right.
powerful later on. But yeah, it was just that was a tough sell for me. That portion of it and the end of it, the ending. I was like, what? I just didn't get it really. I don't know. How are you going to rate this? Or do you have more to
I'll
spill?
give this one, huh?
Did you have more to say?
Oh, I was going to say, what is it, Rogue One, where they had Darth Vader, in at the beginning where he gets into that rebel ship and he just kills everybody. Is that
One
Rogue
of the
One?
best scenes in Star Wars history. That's just great.
Was that, he's just like, and I
Yeah,
mean, that's this Darth Vader you want to see is
yeah,
that, this badass, because he wasn't really that much of a badass, really, but they boosted him now. You want to be better than he was, and you don't realize it till you get older and you watch it. He was more choking subordinates. I mean, you never want to promote in the Imperial Navy. You never do, and you never want to work on Darth Vader's ship.
yeah. Right.
Because if you made prawns for him, he's eating the prawns. He doesn't like them. He's gonna come over here. you know, Never. I'd want to be the piss boy on some first lieutenant's garbage scow, so
Yeah.
that way Darth Vader's not choking me out from his ship 1,000 miles away. That's a lesson I learned from that. And when you saw him in Rogue One, how badass he was, and he wasn't just you know I'm pissed off at you. He was just wielding that lightsaber and just chopping those guys up, and you're just like, that's the Darth Vader I want to see, you know. And how can Luke stand up against that? Landon said,
Can't.
yeah, he's special, but his acting skills couldn't kill Darth Vader, that's for sure. But I'm not a Mark Hamill fan.
No.
Sentimental, but not,
Well, I was
you
until
know.
10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
oh yeah.
so
That didn't help.
he
That
kind of
didn't help. Yeah,
he's just another one of those
yeah,
political activist actors that just should just keep his mouth shut. And I will say that
yeah.
about both sides of the political spectrum. I don't care
Oh
who you
yeah.
come
No,
out and
both
say
sides.
is great. Shut your mouth. Just quiet. We don't need to hear your crap.
Yeah,
Your
no,
opinion is no more valuable than mine. So shut up,
yeah.
Mark Hamill.
I just
That
dance
said,
for me, monkey. That's all. I'm
yeah,
paying you to dance for me,
right,
monkey.
exactly. I don't need to
Yes.
hear your
Don't talk.
political shit. But he doesn't need to hear ours either. So I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
that's right. We're just, yeah,
But we
right. They're
don't voice
they're
that
like,
on our
shut up.
show.
We're just we don't want to hear your opinions. I will give this one a 3.5. Um, I would rate it higher, but that damn Dagobah part
I don't
just
mind it so much.
I know you like it, Rich. I'm sorry, but I hate, even like Rocky. I hate the training montage. I mean, they should have done they should have done a montage with music. They should put Eye of the Tiger on the Dagobah part. Where he's lifting logs and shit. But I always hate training montages, and that's all Dagobah is, with John Williams soundtrack behind it and Frank Oz going. Oh, oh."
So I will
I'm
say
sorry.
that the Dagobah part of it is my least favorite part. Like you said, when he crashes and when he first meets Yoda, I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, Yoda's just
Yeah,
that puppet. So, um,
yeah,
but you're right. After that, there's this slow roll until you figure out that that creature is actually Yoda, and that was cool too. But yeah, the training stuff, I was irked. That's the best way to explain it. And because of that, I will also give it a 3.5.
nice.
I think this movie deserves a 4. Oh, look at this. The boss is
Oh, look at
here.
that! Look at that!
We got
Look
2 minutes.
at
Hey, boss.
I got a signed and accepted offer on the house I made an offer on today.
Hey, touchdown.
Just so y'all,
that!
I had to tell y'all because I missed the show because I was waiting to hear. So, yay!
Everybody
Yay for
congratulate
you!
Hadley. She just bought a house.
Now, I've been watching y'all
That's
the
a
other
beautiful
night.
place.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
So now we have a place to have the Weird Realities party, everyone. So I'm going to give out the address right now.
Yeah.
Do not do it.
Bring your dogs and your children. Hadley will watch them.
Yep.
Well, it probably changes the location for where we will be getting together at, but there's this really cool kind of retro hotel where Elvis and the Colonel used to stay that's close by. So y'all probably be staying there.
When you say the Colonel, are you talking about Colonel Sanders?
No, the
Ooh,
Colonel.
that'd be better. That would be
He's
better.
down here. All right, guys. I'm gonna hop off, but I had to tell y'all. So,
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
I'm really excited. It has been I've been down here for what, 4 or 5 months now, and I have considered every place on the coast to live, but I've gone back to the first one. So I will be living in Ocean Springs.
Good for you. I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
That's
I'll
very,
talk to y'all
very
soon.
cool.
Take care, boss.
All right. Thanks for giving us that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll rate that a solid 5.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's always good. That's always
Yeah,
good
so
news.
I'm sure she's gonna have a great
You-
time down there. She showed us pictures of the house there, and she's got 2 dogs as well. So the whole back of it is fenced in, and it abuts a crane sanctuary. Not
Yeah.
not the kind of crane that picks stuff up. A bird. And it's like 22,000 acres or something. So she's good for her.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Ocean Springs,
I
Mississippi.
love those doors. Love those doors. But
Dude, we're over.
We're over. Well, Scott was under the weather today,
Yeah.
and the boss, she was out getting a house. So you got stuck with us two on the Deuce
Yeah,
show.
Deuce.
It's not number 2
Deuce
movies.
show. Everybody
We
poops.
hope you enjoy. Yeah. Machines need sanctuary. Yes, you're right, Landon. Thank you for joining us tonight. Rich and I had a lot of fun. I know we did, right, Rich?
Yeah, it was a blast. I always have fun.
We hope you did. Yeah, we hope you did. So join us next week. Do you know what we're having next week, Rich?
Not a clue. I never know. I gotta wait for Hadley to tell me.
Yeah,
She's got it all written out. I have an Excel sheet at work. It's on there. If I look through the past 30 months of our,
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I tell you. I got it right here, Rich.
All right.
Okay, it is Dances with Wolves, The Last of the Mohicans, and A Man Called Horse.
Oh,
So we're going for a theme there.
yeah.
Cultural clash and understanding. So there we
All right.
go.
Cultural
So,
clash.
all good movies.
Outstanding.
So join us next week.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Take
for joining
care,
us
everybody.
tonight.
We love you.
Give him the finger. There we got the finger. Rich fingered y'all. It's time to go.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.